Right, good morning, councillors, staff, members of the public and those on Zoom. Welcome to this Policy Committee meeting 7. I declare the meeting open. We have no people that we're aware of for the public forum. We have an apology for lateness from Councillor Henry. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that, please? Councillor Thwaites, Councillor Sol, I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. There are no late items. Are there any declarations of interest? Appears not. Thank you. We now move on to page 7, which is the 9.1 waste management and minimisation bylaw, spoken submissions. There's nobody here who wants to speak, but Emily, if you want to give us a very quick update on, well, finding that, we'll go straight to the recommendations.
Thank you, Mayor Gary. Good morning, everyone. So we have had no one wish to register to speak for that process, which the consultation period has now concluded. So we'll be doing some analysis of the submissions and bringing you back a paper for your formal deliberations in the new year. But we will have a run through of the submissions in the workshop this afternoon.
Any questions of staff? It's pretty self-explanatory. No, if not, a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Denia, Councillor Granger, I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. I declare that carried. We now move to pages 8 to 17, which is the adoption of the draft seal extension prioritisation policy for consultation. Welcome, Cullen. We also have a young student with us today who's within a week will come back next year and tell us how to run council. So welcome, young fellow. Good to have you with us. Thank you. Anything to add to the paper, Callum? It's pretty self-explanatory and it's going out for public consultation.
No, I don't think so.
Right. Are there any questions, Councillor Daly?
Could I just ask a question about the private funding contributions of 50% or more will elevate nominated roads to the top of the priority list? If a road isn't nominated, does that get a different treatment?
You might want to explain that. It's pretty self-explanatory. If people are prepared to pay 50%, we'll elevate it. If they're not, it won't.
Just regarding whether it's on the current list or if it's, as long as it's in our district, it should be all right.
That's the policy, yes. Thanks. Councillor Denia.
Yes, I just want to clarify, just from my own understanding, why urban roads are excluded. Is it because they're intended to be covered by community board budgets, or what was the intention there?
Urban roads are covered by different funding, so they don't qualify for seal extension under the using the budgets that we normally use for seal extensions.
Any other questions at all? There appears not. There's recommendations there, 1 to 4. So, Marie?
I have a couple of questions, and one, it's the follow-on from Councillor Daly. What sort of percentage would people have to contribute if they make is it 50% that they would have to contribute to jump the queue to have work done?
Yes, 50%, yeah.
Significant. And the other question is Maori roadways. Goodall Road is a road that's been a festering sore for a long time. Will this policy introduction make it easier for Goodall Road to get the sealing that they deserve?
Yeah, if the policy is adopted, then it's likely that Goodall Road would be sealed within the next 5 years.
Yeah, Emily, you might want to comment on that. It's part of the policy.
Just further to your query, Councillor Murray Benge, so we have in the recommendations of this report also sought to review the Māori roadways policy because at the moment this notes that the current approach proposed in this policy is incompatible with our existing Māori roadways policy. So we would seek to bring that back to you in the new year to approve, hopefully for consultation concurrently with this policy in March, April next year.
Further questions? A mover and a seconder for the recommendations 1 to 4, please. Councillor Daly. So, Dean, I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye. It's no, carried. We now move to pages 18 to 23, which is just receipt. Any questions? This is the change 5 to the Kaituna Regional Policy Statement. There appears not to. I have a mover and seconder there. Page recommendations 1 and 2. Councillor Murray-Benge. Councillor Sol, I put that. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, no. I declare that carried. We now move to pages 24 to 31, which is the Resource Management Enabling Housing and Other Matters Amendment Bill. This has already gone through, but are there any comments that anybody may want to make? Questions?
No, sir, just a comment.
Right.
It would appear to have been a fairly dumb move, and I'm not quite sure, is it going to go through or is it not? But the fact is that we need houses built, but in the social division that's been created, because we haven't got enough houses being built in enough places, urgent, but this certainly, in my view, wasn't the answer.
Yeah. Rachel?
Thank you, Mayor Gary. And just to answer your question, Councillor Murray-Benge, yes, we are anticipating law, probably by the 17th of December. What I will say, and I signalled this at council recently, the pace of progress of this reform is phenomenal, in so much that we've put this submission onto the agenda for you to receive and consider, but it has already been before the Environment Select Committee, and the outcome or the report back of the Environment Select Committee is something that Natalie will take you through in the workshop this afternoon or later on today. So the pace of change is rapid. Our submission points have already been considered by the Environment Select Committee, and we can update you on what the next steps are going to be.
Fact is, it has bipartisan support across all parties, and it's been pretty much pushed through, and it's going to happen before Christmas. So we've got two recommendations there: 1, 2, 2A and 2B.
I have to move it. I just think 2A and 2B are the same thing, really, aren't they?
They are, but slightly different worded, but well picked up on your, is that your understanding of it? Yeah. For the second sentence just has got Western Bay Plenty District Councils in front of the rest of it.
So take out
But
A.
I think mostly take out A is best, but
Don't.
yes.
Happy to move 1
Some
and
people
2B then.
may think they're paid by the word, so
Covering our bases.
yes. So it's recommendation 1, 2B, and we'll leave. Thank you. A seconder for that, Councillor Granger. I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, no. Carried. Now we move to page 32 to 44, which is the reductions, waivers of fees for community housing in Papakāinga. Jody and Emily are with us.
Anyway. Sorry, Jody. Thank you.
Are there any questions? There are recommendations there, 1, 2.
Sorry. Jody, is this the same for, the same rules for community housing as it is for Papakāinga? If not, why not? Sorry?
It's in the papers.
Options.
Option B.
Through you, Mr. Chair, Morena, Chair Gary and elected members. It's a similar option. It is slightly different in that it recognises that for Papakāinga, most of that development is going to happen in rural areas, And so to date, there wouldn't be a FinCo charge for water or wastewater connections. So what we have proposed is that for both community housing and Papakainga, one upfront charge that is the equivalent of a full FinCo will be paid for one household unit equivalent. So that's the same for both Papakainga and community housing. Then option A gives a discount of 50% for community housing, recognising that that's going to be connected to water and wastewater as well. Papakainga, we've said it's a 100% discount because it's a much lower range of fees. And then if that Papakainga is in a situation where it will connect to water and wastewater, then we would assess what the appropriate level of FinCos is for those connections. So in that regard, it is similar, but it recognises the two different contexts for community housing and Papakainga.
Thank you. I'm happy to move options 1, 2, 3, 4B.
For option B?
Yes.
Yes, I'll second that.
Move and second that. Put that, all those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Declare that carried. Yes, thank you, staff and everybody. I declare the meeting closed and thank you for your attendance.
Thank you.